6.8 million Americans suffer with anxiety. Suffer, it's just a harsh term to use. You can't really suffer from it because suffering is something that's out of your control. If you can control it, it's not suffering. It's just allowing it to happen to you. So in this video, I'm going to outline how I controlled or took care of my anxiety and OCD, and how if you implement these steps, you can as well. First, I want to give you guys an analogy because for some reason I'm really liking these analogies that I'm giving you. So imagine your thoughts and your mind right here, all this as a globe. Think of your mind and your thoughts and your brain as a snow globe. What happens when you shake a snow globe? All the snow on the ground is, everywhere. It looks beautiful, but it covers the picture. It covers that image inside the snow globe that makes it look beautiful. So think about anxiety as this snow globe. You shake it and then all the thoughts are scattered everywhere and it's just distorted. And then if you have OCD, which is usually paired with anxiety, you focus in on one of those thoughts and then you stress and overthink about it and then you're just worried all day. This is what I used to live like, I would have anxious thoughts and then all of a sudden I would think, for example, oh, I'm driving, and then all of a sudden an anxious thought would come into my mind. Oh, what if somebody just randomly decides to, drive into me on purpose and then I die? Just random intrusive anxious thoughts, and then all of a sudden I would hyper focus on this thought and then I would get like anxiety and start, worrying why I would drive. Now, if I ever have thoughts like that, they're in and out. I think because you can't stop thoughts, right? You can control them which way they go, and you can give attention and nurture each one. So it comes into me and then it's boom, it's gone. So I'll be like, comes in, that's just a thought. And then I can continue being happy and driving along. So a lot of you want to live this way, and what was the number one thing that allowed me to think this way? What was the number one thing that cured my anxiety or helped me control it? It was fitness. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on how fitness does this, like the scientific thing, before I can give you actionable steps. So when you work out, especially when you weight train, obviously cardio in its own way, but I want to talk specifically about lifting heavy weights, putting resistance on your muscles. What happens? Hormones are obviously released and your body is moving in which phase. But a specific hormone that I want to talk about called endorphins are released while you work out. And what are endorphins? And apologize if I mispronounce them. Endorphins are happy chemicals or hormones, whatever, same thing. Happy hormones that are released into your mind when you're working out that make you feel confident, make you feel happy, make you feel like you're on top of the world, make you feel like you can conquer anything. These are the things like, when some people, drink alcohol and they get all this like liquid courage. Think about liquid courage, but healthy liquid courage. So back to our snowball analogy. When we think about this snowball, this distorted globe, what happens when the snowflakes come down? A beautiful image is revealed. That's the same thing what happens to your mind and your thoughts when you resistance train. Your mind can move clearly, can think clearly, because the endorphins come into your mind and then you're more relaxed, you're happy, you're confident, like I mentioned. And then anxiety has no place to exist because your thoughts aren't all rambled up and you're not hyper-focusing on one thought. You're focusing on something which is training, bettering yourself, and the endorphins come in and they calm the snow globe in your mind. They calm the snowflakes, they calm the anxious thoughts. So let me explain to you guys how this is going to impact your life. Firstly, don't think that you're going to hit one workout and then forever you're going to be cured, because this is not how it works. Obviously, I didn't cure my anxiety and OCD in one workout. It took years of working out consistently daily to be able to have a better control of my mind. So what do you need to do? Minimally start by working out 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days per week. I was going to say 2 to 3 times per day. So minimally start working out 2 to 3 times per week, because this will get your body used to releasing those endorphins. And then the more you do something, the more those chemicals are released, the more your body is getting used to being put into a state of positivity. Those endorphins are releasing more often, so you're put into this state of positivity, to this higher level of, what's the right word here I want to use? You're put into a higher vibrational state of love, gratitude, happiness, rather than those low vibrational states where you nurture that anxiety like fear, guilt, shame. That's a whole nother video that I'll make about levels of consciousness and vibrational frequency states. But what I want you guys to take away from this is the more often that you work out, the more it will allow you to take control of your thoughts and minds. Because think about this, for example. When I was not working out, I would have these thoughts and I wouldn't know what to do with these thoughts. And I didn't think that there was any way that these thoughts could be silenced. I didn't think that there was any way that they could be quieted down. And I was thinking that I was just always going to be constantly hyper-focusing on these things. But once I was shown that there was a possibility of these thoughts being quieted, of these anxieties and this OCD, that I didn't have to hyper-focusate on one specific thought, and that it would just come in and then come out, I fell in love. Because think about the benefits of living an anxious-free life, or at least less than you are right now, because we can't live 100% anxiety-free, because there would be no fun in that. Some anxiety, it keeps us on our toes, it keeps us young, keeps us happy. Stress is a good thing. Just think about it, right? You want to go approach that girl that you like, and instead of thinking about all those anxious thoughts and fears that are going to come with that, like, oh, she's going to reject me, oh, she might think I'm ugly, oh, these things that are coming into your mind that are stopping you from doing set thing, all of a sudden you remember that A, you have confidence because you work out and you're getting jacked, so why not? But B, you start having an override of positive thinking and positive thoughts, because those endorphins are able to be kicked in, and you remember how you feel when you work out, when those endorphins are high, and you can think your way into that state, which is really hard, but putting yourself into a state of, happiness and gratitude is simple. Do 100 push-ups right now. Try this method. Do 100 push-ups, and instantly you're going to feel a lot better. So let's say, you are going out, like I mentioned, to get a check. Working out before will give you 1,000,000 times more of not an ego boost, but a boost of confidence than trying to talk yourself into being confident. Because our mind plays tricks. We're going to try to talk to ourselves to be confident, but if we don't prove to ourselves that we're confident, we'll never be confident. But we prove to ourselves that we're confident by showing up and doing the work that regulates confidence, and by doing the things that we say we're going to do. I'm going to work out, I worked out, therefore I believe in what I say, therefore I'm confident. So your thoughts and the things that you say, once it's backed by your action, confidence can exist in your mind. And how can I pair this with anxiety? Because anxiety is thoughts of, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. It's almost like doubt. Anxiety and doubt are very paired together similarly. So when I started working out more frequently, all of a sudden, more and more of my thoughts I was just recently reflecting are so much more positive. I reflect now and I'm like, wow, most of my day is just spent positively thinking. And if it's neutral, and then because obviously, negative thoughts do come in, intrusive thoughts do come in from time to time, the speed at which they exit my mind is so much more faster now that I've included resistance training and working out and raising my endorphin levels. I think that's what the right word is. Endorphins, which is unpaired and unmatched. Even if I do get into a heated argument or some sort of conflict, it's resolved in seconds. It's resolved in maximum minutes because I don't spend time hyperfixating anymore on this negative state because my body is so used to receiving that positive state. So I want you guys to take this analogy with you, and I want you to start resistance training in order to cure your anxiety, in order to cure your OCD. Because obviously it's going to take time, but the benefit of living a life that's anxiously free outweighs the life of living with anxiety. That's why people go to therapists, because they think they could just talk their way out of anxiety. People go for depression because they think they can talk their way out of depression. Yes, talking about your feelings helps, be able to recognize what the core of these feelings are and where they come from, but working out of them is going to 10x your results. It's going to boost you out of that state 1,000,000 times more than talking to a therapist or talking to a friend will. I don't discourage talking about your feelings because I think it's a very important thing to state how you feel, to be able to recognize why you're feeling a certain way. I think that's where therapy is very good, and like talking about these things, to be able to recognize where these thoughts originate from, where these ideas and conflicts are being constructed in your mind. But in order to get out of that state, talking your way out of that state isn't going to be the fix. I can guarantee you could spend hours with a therapist. You could spend hours talking to your buddies. But if you're still doing the same things and you're still living that same lifestyle that put you in that state or that's causing that state, then I'm sorry, but you're going to be stuck in that state. You're going to be stuck thinking and living that way because you're not allowing yourself to be moved. I'm going to give you an analogy for this. For example, do you think the person, I'm going to give you guys a good question here. Do you think the person that reads business books all day, reads or listens to podcasts about business all day, and spends time around business people all day and talks about business all day is going to learn and build a better business than the person that is building a business, is getting hands-on experience building that business, is failing from trying to start different businesses? Which one do you think is going to build a better business? Obviously the one that's having hands-on experience and that's doing the work. Why? Because they're putting themselves in that state. Your body adjusts to the reality that it sees. So if it sees and feels that it's being pushed, that it's being, all these chemicals that are being released, it's going to want to be more into that state, and it's going to learn from that state of being. Rather than like the video I made last time, thinking, your mind can move from past, present to future, but your body is in its current reality as it is. So if you want to feel in your mind or think in a different way, you have to place your body in a different setting, right? You have to expose it to different things, and you have to physically do the work in order to feel that sensation or think that specific way. So that's all that I got for this video. I hope it helped. Main point is, your mind is like a snow globe. Your thoughts are the snow inside it. When it shakes, those are the anxious and OCD thoughts that you have. In order to calm it and see that picture behind all those snowflakes, raise your endorphin levels by working out so that you can live a little bit less anxious and a little bit less fixating on your thoughts. I hope this helped, and I hope it provided some value towards you. If you're looking for fitness coaching, check the first link down below. Also check out my free blog and my free newsletter that I have for you guys, and make sure to follow me on Instagram. I love you guys. I'm going to leave you like I always do. Create more than you consume. Serve others. Love everyone. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.